Waiting for you to arrive again.
Yes. Let's see here. Angel Feather, G assist with the Celestials from set 11. One of the funny things about Vanguard is that some stuff just sort of disappears from memory, and then all of a sudden it becomes really important, i.e. set 7, set 3, and now set 11, with Genovius, with some of the Celestials, some of the Sweep Command especially, all kind of going crazy in the price here. Honestly, it's funny as hell, in my opinion, and I just hope this sort of thing continues. Let's talk about sort of set 6 too, kind of, but not really. Weirdly. Only with a couple of things. Because the rear guards were weird. Anyway, Black Candle as Rail. Counterblast 1, put this unit into the soul, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face up. Choose a face-up card from your damage zone, put it into your hand. So basically, you Counterblast 1 and you get a free card into your hand. Usually I use her late of the game as soon as I get my G-Break off. And that's partly to see if I can get a Zerakiel or something into the damage zone, but also to just, you know, start flipping things out. She's really good about that. She's really good about giving me things and fixing my hand, that sort of deal. And sometimes the top of the deck is the thing you want, so that's good. Triggers. Honestly, she's probably the best starter. There's a Celestial one that does it for free. However, they send things in face down. If it's sent face down, it is a counterblast, and it should, you know, you should look at that a bit harder than you would other things, because while it's not a cost you pay, unless you think, oh, I can pay that, it's still something that'll hurt you long run if you're not careful. Nurse of Dangerheart. I like that art. Now this 8 crit, by the way. Now this one's very complicated, but I will do my best with it. Invert Celestial as Beal. Damage zone if you have a Vanguard with Celestial, and you will damage zone. And by the way, it's not G-Break. A lot of this stuff is G-Break. Some of it, most of it is not, like him, her, whatever this is. I'm sorry, I can't tell whether she has breasts or not. Oh wait, no, I see it. I'm pretty good. Her. Damage zone. Put this face-up card on the top of your deck. Shuffle your deck. Reveal 3 cards from the top of the deck. Choose a card not named. Invert Celestial as Beal. Among them, put in the damage zone face-up and rest in your drop zone. She is technically... She can heal you if you draw 3 Invert Celestial as Beals. However, that means that you just lost 3 crit triggers. That's bad. That is really bad. You can run 12 crit in this deck, but honestly, the stand trigger's too funny not to use. So you know, loss of that sort of thing. Sure, you heal, but at the same time, at what cost? And I'm not running Legion in this build, for Pete's sake. You know, you just gotta be careful. Doctoroid Retros. Counterblast 1 stand trigger, by the way. Put this unit in the top of the deck. Choose 2 cards from your damage zone. Put them on the top of the deck. By the way, you can do unflipped, counterblasted ones, so you can counterblast and then send the one you counterblasted into the deck. Each card, or you put 2 triggers. Put the top card of your deck into the damage zone face up, draw a card. So you draw 1 card, and then the first off you put 2 in, finish that ability, then you draw a card. I know it's weird like that, but the wording, very specific. Honestly, he's there for stands. Also, a lot of power is given out. Really, he's just a great card. And honestly, a little bit of stand-like spice can really make a deck sing. Sunny Smile Angel. When this unit boosts plus 3k at the end of the phase, return it to the deck. I use her because it returns cards to the deck. That's it. There's no heal trigger that's better. Some are prettier, sure. Some have a lot better art. But at the same time, she does work. She is the working woman, the Rosie the healer of, you know, Angel Feather and the like. You just have to play her best, get good. Partly because also you can't heal from your hand to the damage zone, so you know. 2 Unlimiters. I run her with Zerakiel mostly, because she can be turned into a 10k booster with Zerakiel. As well as the fact that, hey, all of a sudden Zerakiel's giving plus 3k to all your Celestials. That's nice. That's real nice. Because he's not basically... He's not based on G-Break, so Choose one Celestial from your card name from your hand, put it to your damage zone. In other words, like let's say you have 2 of these in your hand, you put 1 in. Choose an Angel Feather Vanguard. Choose a card from the damage zone, put it into the hand. It's nice. You get perfect shields that way. You have to put a Celestial in, but you can take any Angel Feather out. For Underlay Celestial Hesediel. She is some of the best support for a Vanguard that I've ever seen. Plus 3k when there's a Zerachiel on the damage zone. By the way, Vanguard, Rearguard, or otherwise. And then Zerachiel herself gives out another plus 3k. So in other words, she turns into a 12k booster. I'm about to tell you about my grade 2s. 24k columns. Rather, let me rephrase that, 27k columns. 26k columns. It's all pretty great. Pure Keeper Requiel. I like the art best. That's why I run her. Sure, there's G-Break ones now, but honestly, with the stand and a few other things, I don't need it. This deck isn't Counterblast heavy, and honestly, I prefer to protect my rearguards, since Zerachiel is very, very rearguard dependent. Yeah. I run 2 Candle Celestial Sariels. Basically, Counterblast 1, when this unit is placed on rearguard and you have an Angel Feather, search your deck for 1 Angel Feather from your damage zone. Sorry, put it into your damage zone, shuffle deck, and if you did that, choose a face-up card from your damage zone, put it into the drop zone. Honestly, I don't like her, and I feel I might replace her with a Danielle and a Raguel, but I haven't decided yet, so she's there for now. It's nice to have that consistency of just counterblasting, sticking something on there. You have to do it while you're at 2 damage, otherwise, and you have to have something else you want in there too. Otherwise, you will be discarding the card you summoned, and that's bad. Emergency Celestial Danielle. Damage Zone. Counterblast a Celestial. When this another unit is put into your damage zone, if you have Angel Feather Vanguard, pay the cost. Call this card to rearguard circle top of your deck into your damage zone. Face up, by the way. It's nice. Field. She's put into the damage zone. Counterblast. When another card is put into the damage zone, counterblast, you can return her. It's good. It's good. Top card of the deck, by the way, means face up. Yeah. It's good. 12k attacker for Celestials. Remember, guys, there are 12k attackers out nowadays that require G-Break. This does not require G-Break. Ha 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 ha. Finally, control Celestial Heal. Heal? Hell. I don't know. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Celestial, this unit gets plus 2k until end of turn. By the way, not G-Break. Then if you have a face-up card in your damage zone, same name as the unit on your Vanguard, which you will if you're running Zerachiel. Ha! Same as Vanguard. Until end of battle, this unit gets when this unit attack hits. Counter charge. There we go. And soul charge. That's good for a soul charge and a hit. You know, you can unflip a damage. That's part of the reason why I'm very comfortable not running the new G perfs, perf pluses, whatever you want to call it. Grade 3s. There's not much else to say about her, honestly. She's just good. She does work. This deck works. It does work. Everyone does work. No one's here that's worthless. Even, you know, even this card, you know, doesn't do much most of the time, but sometimes you get it early, and it's just amazing, and the deck starts, like, putting out that pressure turn 3. And believe you me, that's more important than, you know, getting your G-Break off. It is sometimes, some parts of this deck, it is better to stay at G-Break, grade 2, if you're, you know, if they'll mess up your opponent and they don't have much rearguards. If they got a lot of rearguards, don't do it. Partly because they can put on more pressure and more defense than you can. But if you can send it all to their Vanguard, they will lose more cards faster, especially since you're running crits and stands. For Helm, I like her. She's not really glamorous, and she's like 50 cents because she's part of the Fives Collection 2. Counterblast 1, put a card from your hand, put it into your damage zone, and then face-up card from your damage zone, put it into your hand. Plus 5k until end of turn if you have a face card with Spiral Celestial Helm. Plus 1 crit. This ability can't be used again, and then Counterblast 1 plus 2k. Don't use that one. But use the first one. Honestly, it does a lot of work for you. It used to be a bit better when you run out the Pegasi and the other cards. However, I really felt that I wanted to run Celestials, and I might be changing her out for a Legion or something, I don't know. Just to see how it'll run. But I don't know, I don't like Legion as much as I do Stride or Normal, so we'll just have to see. I'm going to play around with her, see what she can do. She's really great in those decks that don't really require Celestials, because the only thing that's Celestial about her is the fact that she requires another version of her. So I can run her in a generic deck, a G-Break deck, and it actually will work pretty well, because if I don't have anything to G-Break, I might as well just play her. Haha! 26k crit 2. Solidified Celestial Zerakiel, she is the ace of the deck. During your turn, if you have a face-up card named Solidified Celestial, blah blah blah, all of your units with Celestial in the card name get plus 3k. She is the reason why this is all Celestial deck. Mostly. Counterblast 2 Celestials plus 5k, don't do that. Lord. Yeah, she's good. There are plenty of ways to get her into the drops, into the damage zone, and honestly, all the other cards do work as long as you have a Celestial Vanguard. So she's just icing on the cake, putting out more pressure than I could be imagined. Honestly, during the Break Ride meta, she was absolutely horrifyingly dangerous. She sort of waned when Legion meta came out, but now I think she'll, with the G-Break stuff, it'll really come back. Especially since some of the stuff works with just her being in the damage zone, and a lot of it works from it just, being a Celestial Vanguard. You really have to be careful. Sometimes it is better to stay with her, especially if your opponent has very little cards. So you purse your Vanguard, what of it, and then you start attacking with your, 27k columns, which require 4 cards, no less, to defend against, provided that there are no triggers on your opponent's side. So if he's at 5, oh yeah. Strides. I actually run 2 of every good stride. Holy Seraph Raziel. Soul Blast. 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, pay the cost. If you do, return all cards from the damage zone to the deck. Shuffle deck. For each card returned, put the top card of your damage zone deck into the damage zone face up. So let's say that you counterblast everything. That's dumb, but you did it. Good job. Soul Blast 2. Reset your damage zone. Why do you not need G-Perfs? Because of him. More than anyone else. He's also funny because one time I sent back a bunch of triggers, about 4 triggers or so. Really bad game for that sort of thing. And then I got a Zerakiel and a Helm into the damage zone, as well as a whole bunch of not triggers. That's 4 triggers back into the deck, and then my aces were set up to use their abilities to the fullest. He does work. He's not the best, so you don't want to run more than 2, but he will do work. Holy Seraph Uriel. When this unit attack, it's a Vanguard. Top 3 cards, search for 1 card, put it face up into your damage zone, shuffle deck. Put a card into your damage zone this way, choose a card from your face up, grade 2 or less from damage zone, call it to rear guard circle, plus 2k until end of turn. She just combos, and then gives power. Imagine this summoned up, and then, you got that one 9k booster for Zerakiel. That's another column right there. It's pretty great. And it's like 22k rather than, just 20k, which it would be normally. Holy Celestial Mikhail, she does the most work of all the strides, except for Raphael. Counterblast 1 if you have a heart card with Celestial in its card name, put top unit of deck into your damage zone, choose a face-up card from your damage zone, call it to rearguard circle. Then if your damage zone is a face-up card with the same card name as your heart card, the unit called by the effect plus 5k. 26k, 27k, and what's more, she combos things like Daniel. Really does a lot of power, and again, if you're running Zerakiel, you can do even more power with her. There's just a whole bunch of stuff you can do. And it's really only your imagination limits you. Finally, Raphael. Some people run 4. I, however, believe you should only run 2. If you get too dependent on healing with her, you'll actually run out of strides pretty quick, and you want to keep up pushing out in this pressure. This deck is a pressure deck, first and foremost. Offense, offense, offense. She is defense. She is your oh shit card. When it's your turn, you don't have enough cards to hand, and you gotta and you want to go from like 5 to 4. She is an on-call heal. That's it. You unflip one of her, and it's a heal. So, use her strategically, but don't think that she's a winning image in and of herself. Because I guarantee you, if you face a PBA, it doesn't matter whether you're at 4. If you can't guard, they'll still kill you. So you got to be careful. Got to keep the other things up. Got to keep your hand up. Got to keep your pressure up. pressure kills a lot of decks like PBA, and this deck can run at grade 2 pretty easily. So, you know, a lot of possibility for shenanigans. Alright, that is Angel Feathers, G-Break, Celestials updated. A lot of my decks are updated, so, you know, hey, whatever. Alright then,